Good morning, sunshine.
They drink so much wine here.
You're hungover?
I'm hungover.
She had to take Tylenol because her head hurts.
Please, it's too bright.
You're supposed to wake up at 5:30 to go to the Trevi.
Too much wine.
But we have a wine tour tomorrow.
Oh no.
All right, I am pulling myself together, starting strong with sock of the day and day one of filming the outfit transition video, which you might have already seen. We walked over to Campo de' Fiori for a Roman street food tour. We got there a bit early and there were so many things that I wanted to buy, but I didn't want to hold throughout the day, so I said we'd come back and we never did. I was so sad. So if you're going somewhere and you see something that you want, I would just say shop. It's gonna be hard to say or promise that you'll be back there. On this tour, we tried about 12 different foods across Campo de' Fiori, Trastevere, and the Jewish ghetto, and it's a quicker tour than the one we did yesterday. We tried different flavors of a dried pork meat called coppiette, including pepper, wine, truffle, and chili. There was one repeat food that we already tried on a food tour from day one, which maybe you don't want to be eating the same things on different food tours, but because they were from different places, I felt it was nice to have a point of comparison, and the place from day one was better. He taught us a little bit about the reasoning behind the architecture in this area, like how this hall was used as an entrance for an ancient theater 2,000 years ago, and that the foundation of the theater was kept. So they turned it into apartments, and that's the reason these apartments are rounded. Okay, this spot was actually our favorite stop for pizza. We had the margarita pizza and the pizza rosso. The pizza rosso was amazing, loved it. I could have eaten 5 more of these. The tomato is so bright. Save this pizza spot. And I'll have a more thorough food tour video for you soon on this one with everything you should know. After the food tour ended, we started walking over to the Coliseum and we found BOBA. It was surprisingly so good. And now I know that I could, in fact, survive in Italy. Let's be real here. I already knew I could survive in Italy, but even more so now. Oh my gosh. Okay, sometimes you'll be walking and you'll see you'll need to cross the street without pressing any buttons that tell you when it's safe. We were really nervous to cross and we would always wait for someone else to walk first because we just didn't want to be those people, you know? But just cross with confidence. When you see a little bit of an open space, take one step forward, make eye contact with the driver, and they'll slow down. So we get to the group tour for the Coliseum and oh my gosh, guys, wow. Such a cool experience and landmark to see. Also freaking hot when we went. Our guide let us use his water spray bottle and it was amazing, so nice. He taught us so much about the history of the Coliseum, its uses, and so many things. But one thing that I'll remember forever is that, you know how the Coliseum was an amphitheater for entertainment, like gladiator fights, right? So obviously the amphitheater needed bathrooms for all the guests, and the toilets back then were these huge wells. They'd hover over it, they'd do their business, and there'd be a shared sponge for wiping. Also, don't forget to tip your guides. No need to tip at restaurants, but tip your guides. After the tour, we got some more gelato and then took a little break. Look, the river is right behind us. This is the Tevere River. Isn't it pretty? We're resting right now because our feet are dying.
We've just been walking all day.
Yeah.
We went to the Coliseum. That was really cool.
It was
a lot
so
of history.
cool, yeah.
I didn't know this, but like the Coliseum was used for like a lot of different things. Gladiator fights, shows, theater. And then they like rebuilt it a bunch of times, like built on top of it. Mad.
But super hot.
Yeah.
My heat rashes are like insane. I ended up buying the souvenir fan. I'm that person.
Yeah. I've been washing my arms like every chance I get.
Now, off to a haunted ghost tour of Rome. We love horror. It's one of our most favorite genres and we wanted some spooky stories.
That balcony is haunted and it is an Airbnb or was an Airbnb?
It is an Airbnb.
Oh, it is an Airbnb, but like they can't get it to rent because people keep reporting hauntings, like sudden temperature changes and just like unexplained activities.
He was an executioner by nighttime, but he sold umbrellas by daytime.
Really?
Yeah, he lived a long and
I missed the
fruitful
first
life.
part.
He was a very gentle man. He was about 2 meters tall. That's like 6 something, I think. He was known as being an executioner, like somebody who kills people who are sentenced to death. That was very publicly presented. So most guys, like they had the capes on, the hoods, but he wanted to stand out. So he had a red cape, no mask, so everybody knew who he was. But apparently he was very gentle. But he documented all the ways that he killed people and wrote it in his little journal. And he died a natural cause. But he lived in that building.
Spooky. This last building was so spooky, and as our guide told us the story behind it, the lights started flickering, and I can't remember the exacts, but it used to be a prison, now it's apartments. Someone asked if they pay lower rent because of its sinister history, and the answer was no. Can you believe that? I'd be so mad. Then we went to try this TikTok famous place to see what the hype was about. It's called Osteria de Fortunata, but the wait was 4 hours long, and we were so tired, so we grabbed a sandwich and some pizza, which you buy by weight. The bread was super stale, but you know, it was 11 p.m., so fair enough. but the mortadella in the sandwich was so good, and the pizza was A+. I have no more footage for this day, so it looks like I powered off. Strong finish though for how rough of a morning I was having. See you for day 3.